Hey, what's up guys? Jackson here with Toasty DIY on a cold and very rainy day, and today we're going to be unboxing the Makita Shop Vac that is a wet and dry vacuum. Let's go ahead and get into it. So once again, yet another Makita DIY video. I feel like I'm getting pretty close to reviewing almost every type of their products at this point. I ended up actually opting for the outdoor version, which is the green one, and the only difference, by the way, is it is green. So instead of the typical Makita kind of light blue, this one has a pretty fun look to it. I think it's almost like a outdoorsy camo look in a way. And I didn't know it was actually going to come with some attachments, which is pretty cool. So this vacuum has pretty good reviews for it being a battery-powered vacuum, which typically don't always get the greatest reviews. I mean, every name brand has a portable vacuum, but a lot of times they either don't have enough suction power. A lot of people complain about things like the hose length. They'll complain about proprietary hose size, where the attachments may be a little bit hard to get or come by, but I gotta say, this is pretty cool. So it comes with a chisel tip, and on the side here we also have what looks like a larger, we have a larger attachment that you can hook up for doing, larger debris. If you're vacuuming up a floor, a bunch of sawdust, a table, whatever. It's a pretty good size tip here. It looks like it's probably about a 4-inch opening if I had to guess. We do have an arrow here that kind of tells us where the exhaust is. So this right here would be where the vacuum blows out, because every vacuum has to have an in and an out. We get the same thing over here. We have an arrow pointing in to show that that's where our hose hookup goes. It looks like we can actually connect. So it's a quick disconnect. You just twist it. And I think we can make this. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So assuming you don't have a bunch of debris in here, you could use this also as kind of like a little mini leaf blower in a way. I doubt it's going to be very strong, but that is a feature that a lot of vacs will have. It's pretty basic. We actually have a battery indicator, which that's really cool. This would be, I think, my first Makita tool that has an indicator to show you how the battery's doing. Normally the indicators are on the battery. And then it looks like we have a basically off, and then we have a 2, which I guess is probably max speed, and then a 1, which I'd assume is the lower speed. And once again, this is a wet dry vac, and it actually opens up like this. So you just pop that open. Oh, it actually has 2 sides here. I thought it was going to be on hinges or something. Okay, so yeah, it's never going to look like this again, but a pretty good sized reservoir. I think it's, 2.1 gallons? So yeah, this holds around 2.1 gallons. It's actually pretty respectable, especially if you're doing things like fluid. And if you're just, sucking up like leaves and dust and stuff, this will last a long time for you need to empty it. You do actually get a real HEPA filter, which is pretty cool. They are, of course, cleanable and replaceable. Another thing that's awesome is with the 5 amp hour Makita battery, and this is with their name brand batteries, keep in mind. If you have knockoff batteries, it's probably not going to last nearly as long. You get about 60 minutes of runtime. That's probably on the number 1 setting, so basically low. And like I said, this can be used as a wet vac. Typically for wet vac, you'll take off the HEPA. Sometimes you'll even take off the sponge filter as well. I'll have to read which actually, this is like multi-stage filtering. So we have like a small little filter sock here that's it's honestly pretty fine. And then we have your typical like sponge or filter sock kind of deal. And then this actually twist. Oh yeah, and then here's our float. So this right here is a pretty standard feature in a lot of vacuums. You basically have like a float. So if you flip the vacuum over, you have to turn it off because it won't suck anymore. A lot of times this has to do with the wet feature of the vacuum. But it's pretty cool. So with this being both the float and the filter, I do have to wonder if this would cost a little bit more to replace. Just because normally this part are usually on the vacuum and they just stay there at all times. Curious to see, I want to look up how much this costs to replace. So here's like a knockoff brand one, coming in at about 38 bucks for 2. So you get 2 of those filters, which, it's not terrible. I will say I think it'd be nice if they had just built it into the vacuum so you don't have to replace the assembly as a whole, but I guess it is what it is. So let's go ahead and put all this back together. And I'm definitely excited to give this thing a go. Now to actually load a battery up in this, you can see you got your logo here. You pull up, and then that reveals your 18-volt battery port, and it just takes one. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one from over here. So the battery I'm going to test first is a 5 amp hour knockoff brand battery that is actually not even fully charged. It only has 2 bars. I have another battery charging right now, and because of how much it's raining, I'm not going to go to the other garage to grab one just yet. All right, so we click it into place. Close the hatch. Let's go ahead and see what this thing sounds like. Very quiet. So this is the number 1 setting. And it's moving some air, that's for sure. Now I will say, to give you guys an idea on the suction, it really can't even hold onto my hand on the number 1 setting. Let's try number 2. All right, so that's actually pretty decent suction power there. The battery indicator is working as it should. Right now it's showing we have about just 1 link left on our battery. So this battery may be a little bit weak right now too. With it being a no-name brand, once that 5 amp hour charges fully, I'll definitely test that out. I like this too. The handle actually locks in 2 different positions. So all the way up, kind of like a mid area, so that once you go to move it, you know, you can lock it all the way up, and then it does lock down. So I gotta say, it's pretty well thought out. They even give you these on top, which I think would actually be if you want to attach a harness. So in case you want to kind of have like a shoulder strap, carry it around, it's pretty cool. And it actually does blow harder than I thought it would. So you could really use this thing kind of as a leaf blower. It's definitely not going to be nearly as powerful, but I will say it would work. So at this point, I don't think we really have much more to talk about. It's a vacuum, so I think we really need to try to actually test it as a vacuum. So let's go ahead and put it to the test. All right, here comes test number 1. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use the number 2 setting, because honestly, unless I'm like out, I guess, and about and really needing to conserve battery, I don't see the reason to use the number 1. All right, so yeah, that worked pretty good. Obviously no clogs or anything, with that all being smaller debris. It's nice too, because this has a little bit of, I guess you'd almost call it like abrasiveness to it, so you can kind of scratch up if anything's kind of stuck down. Obviously the chisel tip's gonna be your strongest attachment. So obviously we know that this vacuum is gonna do just fine with any smaller debris and dust. That's absolutely no problem for it. But just for fun here, we have some change. We also have a little bobby pin. So we got like some quarters, dime, really just everything. So we'll see what that can do. I know larger shop vacs, you know, like some of the other ones I have, can handle change, but curious to see what happens. So we're gonna go number 2. We'll try this tip first and see if it works. So it doesn't just pick them up off the ground immediately. Let's see what happens if we make contact. All right, doesn't look like it's strong enough with this. Nope, I don't think so. Oh, we actually got it that time. All right, so it can pick it up if you make like full-on contact. See what happens if we use just this. Oh yeah, you can see there I'm not even actually fully touching. All right, we'll try out the chisel tip. I don't know if this one's big enough for a quarter or not. I guess it is. You do have to kind of tip it up a little bit with this one, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely pretty adequate in the number 2 setting. So I know ideally you're not going to be picking up change with this, but for, you know, things that may weigh a little bit more, like sticks, mulch, maybe chunks of mud, it seems like this will do the job. So I am going to test out some more, you know, larger buildup areas, but I just want to see what this will do with like some leaves, because these are some bigger leaves. I'm assuming this isn't going to be strong enough to actually take these leaves and crunch them up like a stronger shop vac would. So I'm just going to grab a bunch and just see what it looks like. Yeah, you can see there, this wouldn't be the greatest for, you know, leaves. Even though these are kind of brittle leaves, it just doesn't really have the strength that it needs to actually crunch them up. A stronger shop vac could actually, you know, believe it or not, kind of get those leaves and crunch them up. All right, so I'm not going to get super in-depth in detail with this one, but I'm just going to try to just clean this whole area, which it's probably hard to tell on camera, but it's pretty dirty. So we're going to go ahead and go at it, number 2 setting. And I'm just going to show you guys what all we collected. All right, so now that we've done a little bit of vacuuming, the only time I've opened this was to take that change out. So you can see the HEPA filter is definitely doing its job. Seems like that'd get clogged a little quick with it being so fine, but yeah, if you look at the inside here, we definitely got a decent amount of stuff already, and that's just from kind of spot vacuuming, which I wouldn't really use this for. This is really more of like in my opinion, like an emergency or job site vacuum, where you're going to be targeting very specific areas. Like if you're cutting drywall or something, this will be a great tool to have to try to catch the drywall debris as you're sanding it and stuff like that, or cutting it. Doing grout work, just whatever. If you're doing anything that creates kind of smaller dust, this seems like it'd be a really good vacuum. Or if you're one of those people who's always on the go, camping maybe, this would be really good to have with your rig. All right, so for the final test, because I'm pretty satisfied with the dry cleaning, I want to try out a little bit of wet vacuuming. So yeah, so I mean, that was pretty easy for it. As long as you're on a somewhat level surface. I don't think this thing would do the best if I had it up here on the table. But yeah, as you can see there, we got a decent amount of water inside the bucket here. We filled it almost halfway, so that was probably close to a gallon of water. So definitely not bad at all for the wet portion of it. All right, guys, I got the shop vac kind of set out to dry right now. So this was a kind of like unboxing and a very slight review. I will say I don't know the longevity of this vacuum just yet, and I will post any updates in the comment section down below if anything does happen with it, but I don't expect it to. I've yet to have a Makita tool that has ever died on me so far in about 15 years. It's overall pretty quiet, and I gotta say, I did expect this to have a little bit more suction power to it just based on the reviews. It had really good reviews, so I was thinking it was going to be a little bit closer to a shop vac, but I will say it's a little bit closer to just like a household vacuum in all honesty, but it does have shop vac ruggedness to it in the sense that you can suck water and even wet dust and mud and stuff like that and not break the vacuum. So overall it is about 230 bucks. I think if you have a use case for it, you travel a lot, you do a lot of construction, I think this is a great buy. I think if you're just a kind of like everyday homeowner and you're just looking for like a shop vac because you don't have one, I don't think this replaces a shop vac. I would definitely recommend getting a really nice like $100 plug-in shop vac for cleaning your car and stuff like that, because those are way more powerful than this thing, but the portability definitely has those beat. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think. We hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you check out Toasty Bros and Toasty Clips. See you guys later. Peace out.